All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Multiverse show. This is episode 45 with the full crew in tonight. All right. So let's get to introducing the podcast. We got a lot of topics covered in so little time, unfortunately. Real quick, got my co-host, co-founder, Fame Entertainment.
Yo, what's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from TICGN.com, and welcome to another episode of the Multiverse show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm really excited to really get it going. As you guys know, we do have a Nintendo Switch giveaway going. Link maybe in the description down below. If not, go to our website, type in Nintendo Switch giveaway, and you will be there. Make sure you guys enter to win because Switch game is in full effect. Let's go. Yeah, buddy.
Yay.
All right, my other co-host for the evening, Nick.
On, guys, back on the podcast. Glad to be here.
All right, and we got our Sound Master General for not much longer, James Wilson.
Yes, at James_S Wilson. Come talk to me about films, Radiohead, and why Logan is not the best Wolverine film. Sorry, it is the best Wolverine film, not the best action film.
All right, we got Mike.
What's going on, guys? It's Mike from the Inner Circle. Switch Gang is definitely in the building tonight. We got a great show planned for you guys, and let's get it started.
All right, we got our guest for the evening, at least for half the show, Sam from Real Game Media.
Hey guys, what's going on? Good to be here. Glad I can stay for at least part of the show. Looking forward to the topics. And yes, I am a senior writer and editor for Real Game Media. We cover all the news and put out opinion pieces daily, so you come check us out.
It's like a guest. We have like a proper guest.
I know, right? We've had those for a while.
It's like, wait, I got to do this right. Yeah.
All right, so let's...
That joke's never getting old.
Yeah, we are pressed for time, man. We got to go through some of these topics, but real quick, let's start with the first one, probably the least interesting of all of them. PS5 rumors are already starting to circulate. What have you guys heard about this lately? I know I saw this morning, I saw a couple were circulating in particular. What have you guys heard about this?
I've heard nada. The first time I heard about it was right before I was doing our pre-show. Honestly, I've been at work all day, so if there's any rumors, educate me, guys.
All right. Nick, I think you were the one who brought it up, actually.
Yeah, so I was cruising through my Twitter feed, and I found this very interesting article. I believe it was from GameSpot. And they're claiming, they have a financial analyst that claims that the PS5 will launch in late 2018 and will run at 10 teraflops of power minimum, is the claim. They have no sources other than this financial analyst, and there's no actual sources from Sony confirming this.
So 2018?
2018.
I call BS.
Nope.
No way. Not going to happen.
That would be the worst business decision that I've seen in gaming in a long time.
Considering how the PS4 is performing, that would be suicide.
Yeah. So real quick, I got the details here to actually check out a little feed earlier. This is it was actually Gaming Bolt. They put it out, the article, and what he said, it's from a Macquarie research analyst named Damien Thong. He says he expects Sony to yeah. He expects Sony to launch the PlayStation 5 in 2018 second half. And the actual quote he said was, "We see sustained profit growth in game and network services. We forecast OP growth from 140 billion yen, yada yada yada. A rising digital ratio and a higher mix of first-party titles will help margins. Horizon Zero Dawn, which launched on the 20th of February, looks to have a good start. We have temporary expectations to account for rivalry with Microsoft and Xbox and PC gaming. We know that the success of the PSVR, which has reached 915,000 units sold, highlights the health of the ecosystem. We expect Sony to launch a over 10 teraflop PS5 in 2018 to secure the installed base." That is the quote.
When did they say secure the install base? Wouldn't that insecure the install base? Because I know a good majority of people would be pretty pissed if they just bought a PS Pro and then next year Sony's like, boom, new console.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, talk about throwing your early adopters under the bus. You know what I mean? Now, if this said late 2019, that I would believe, but I don't think there's any way they do it in late 2018.
I try to remember. I can't remember who the article was by, but I thought Sony said they weren't expecting to drop another console till at least 2019, 2020. I thought they made a statement along those lines somewhere down the road.
It feels like there's a massive rush in the sort of technology race right now to get like the highest fidelity, the highest quality, all the frame rates, and as opposed to last generation where it seemed to be mostly about games for some reason, don't know why. And that was a really long console generation. It was like 8 years, maybe longer.
9, really.
9. Yeah. That's crazy long, and we shouldn't be expecting it to be as long again. I reckon it will be shorter, but next year is too soon. It just is.
I think the reason why they're looking to do a generation hop already, you see Microsoft positioning with Scorpio, which could be a generation hop that they're not talking about. But one of the biggest issues with PS4 and Xbox One is those consoles felt maxed out way earlier than 360 did. Like at 360 PS3, I felt they hit their stride about 3-4 years, 5 years into the generation. We still kept getting more beautiful games as it progressed. But I feel like with the base Xbox One, PS4, we're starting to see the limits already. And
I have to disagree. I mean, look at Gears of War 4 or Horizon Zero Dawn. There's plenty of, things that developers can do. They just have to figure it out.
I want to talk to the actual developers of Horizon Zero Dawn, because there's some like witchcraft voodoo they did to make that game look that good.
There is some very, very clever software engineering going on. The Decima engine is an incredible piece of tech. It really is.
I mean, part of the thing about game design in general is that you have to worry about working with the limitations of your engine and covering up the limitations with the best aspects you can. I mean, what's a good example?
Right.
As good as Horizon Zero Dawn.
The Void engine, which Bethesda used for Dishonored 2 in particular. Like I'm playing through Dishonored 2 at the moment. Yes, the polygon count and stuff of a lot of different things is not that great. You do have limitations there, but you fill it with so much stuff. Like it's so deep into that level, you don't notice the lack of polygon count in a lot of different items. So they do that on purpose, but they make it a stylistic choice so you don't even notice it.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, it's not to the same scale, but you got some stuff like that going on in Horizon Zero Dawn. And another thing is that game had a very long dev cycle. That game began development in late 2011. Okay, so I mean, they had a lot of time to make sure that the memory was being maximized, theoretically could.
And also, too, I find with exclusives really push the boundaries, because when you have one development team working specifically for one console, they work around that console's performance and hardware and maximize it to their max potential, because some of the most beautiful games we've seen this generation, Horizon Zero Dawn, Forza Horizon 3, they've all been exclusives, and they've all been completely engineered and geared for that specific console.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When you're only dealing with one platform in particular, then you can just focus on the nitty-gritty of all that. So yeah, makes sense.
For me, the most exciting thing about the Decima engine with Horizon Zero Dawn is knowing what Hideo Kojima can do with it scaled down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if this is mass scale, imagine what it'll be like on a small scale with loads of focus.
I can't wait to play that game in 2021.
Yeah, the launch title for the PS5.
Exactly.
Actually, I kind of agree with you there. I really think with the PS5, though, I think what's going to end up happening is I think everyone here agrees that it is suicide to announce a brand new console coming out next year, having launched just now the upgrade to your current one. And I will say this, and I will give credit where credit is due. Tony Polanco from Throwdown Podcast says 2019 minimum. And I would even push to say maybe even 2020 so you launch on a nice, good year. Maybe do some thing with it. I don't know. So,
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if they considered the PS4 Pro to be a quote unquote a mid-generation upgrade, that's 3 years into the cycle. 3 years after that will be at 6 years and 2019, and then it'll be time for the PS5 to roll around. So if you think of it in those terms too, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand too with console generations, we're most likely not going to see another 360 PS3 era time length. That was an obscenely weird time.
A lot of things happen.
Crazy.
That happen. We're never getting that again. Ever.
I'll tell you guys one thing though. If the rumor's
that I
true,
enjoyed.
if the rumor's true, which I highly doubt about this thing coming out whenever, I'll tell you right now, the Xbox wouldn't be able to let that go on for too much longer because they've already been killed this whole generation by being the least. You know, the narrative has completely changed. You guys know that the resolution gate was real. It was absolutely real. And so Microsoft can't afford to let that happen again. So if it is true, you better believe within a year there'll be another Xbox rolling around. If Scorpio is truly just a mid-gen refresh.
Now, one of the things that's interesting, Fame, is that you guys remember, I think it was last year, it was before E3, when Phil Spencer talked about the concept of a modular Xbox One. Is the Scorpio that modular console that will allow them to compete in that regard? I think that's something.
Well, now, okay, here's one question. It's generally agreed upon that the Scorpio is it's like a half generation step, right? And eventually there's going to be a successor and, whatever, Project Capricorn or some other nonsense. And then the Scorpio will become the base model. The S will be phased out. That's generally agreed upon, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's the thing. Is that what Sony's doing with the Pro? Or are they just having it as the Pro is a beefier PS4, and then the PS5 will be a complete generational leap? No, not backwards compatibility. Obviously, it'll be backwards compatible, x64, 86 architecture, but like PS4 games aren't run stuff that the PS5 is running.
I think Sony's going to stick with a more traditional concept. Like, you're going to be able to play your PS4 games on PS5, but I don't think you're going to be able to play your PS5 games on PS4.
Oh no.
Or even
Okay.
Pro.
Nah.
I think they're going to go more of a hard set route. Personally, but
Yeah, I don't see it happening, and the whole teraflops is a measurement of speed. I don't understand why people are still running around with this to measure power. It is a decent measurement, but it's a stupid thing to run around with instead of physical specs. But if anyone really thinks that they're going to drop a 10 teraflop console and it's going to be affordable, because currently in the social circles I run in anyway, people are clowning Scorpio for its power, saying that 6 teraflops would not be, and that's going to be an outrageously expensive console, yet 10 teraflops is somehow magically going to be affordable? No. 10 teraflop console, as it sits right now, you'd be looking at PS3 launch price, except even worse, which is just awful.
I equate this whole teraflop wars to the bit wars back in the day. Oh, this console's 18-bit, this one's 32-bit, this one's 16-bit, 64-bit. It's kind of like the same thing. It's buzzwords.
oh, it's easy to remember. I think the flop, teraflop sounds dumb, but it's easy. It's much easier to remember. And for people who are not technically focused, they're just going to be like, oh, you have 6 teraflops, I have 10 teraflops. It doesn't matter. That's how they're going to get around it in particular. That's how people operate. It's easy to remember something stupid like a flop.
Right.
It's just hilarious because the people you see running around with the teraflop keyword and going, "Oh, my specs are better than yours," you actually start asking them about CPUs and everything else, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else you want to add to this, Fame? Or
No, not really.
all right, just kind of sitting back tonight.
I just don't know. I just think this is a silly rumor.
Yeah, I'm with Fame. It's just not really worth thinking about.
All right, so moving right along, we'll kind of move into something else a little interesting. So Switch dropped. So I understand
Switch
Multiverse
gang.
are part of
Hey.
the gang of Switch. Switch gang represent.
Yo, I'll tell you right now, if you go into the Nintendo Switch, looking at it as a home console, PS4, Xbox, Switch, you're going to be extremely disappointed. This is a handheld that can also play on your television. That's the best way I can look at it. 80% of the time, I'll be playing this thing as a handheld. Yes, it's undercooked. Yes, it was released 2 seasons too early. It should be released in the fall because it's missing Netflix. It's missing the web browser, which all that stuff is coming. But I will say, releasing with the game like Zelda, I'm okay with spending the $300 I spent to wait for the other features to come, because this is the type of game what you've been able to play it on the go. You take it to work, play your lunch break. This is the type of game is huge, massively open, and it's so much stuff to do. This is the type of game that's definitely a game under your contender. I encourage anybody to go out and buy the Switch. Like I said, look at it as a handheld first, a home console second, or the other way around. Definitely.
Yeah, I've seen friends of mine who have Switches who they can't do anything other than play Zelda.
So here's the thing with the Switch, right? I was excited for it. I'm hype. I bought it on launch day. I love it. I've been enjoying the hell playing the Switch, playing Zelda, etc. You have to be warned, if you buy this system now, you're buying potential. And you're buying with the expectation that maybe Nintendo's going to fix some of these things. Maybe they'll fix the software to where your game saves aren't stored on the system, so that if you happen to drop your Switch and it breaks, your game saves are gone. You're buying it now with the expectation that, well, possibly they're going to rectify that. You're buying it without a virtual console, not knowing, because Nintendo has been tight-lipped about when exactly that's going to be coming. They said it's coming, but we don't know when. My thing is, if you're a hardcore Nintendo fan, you could buy this thing now and you'll be happy, because you have Breath of the Wild, which is a bona fide Game of the Year contender for sure. And that'll keep you busy for a while. And then later on this year, you got, the port of Mario Kart 8, you got ARMS, you got Splatoon 2, you have Super Mario Odyssey. I think for the majority of gamers, I think you will eventually want to have a Switch, but I would say wait at least 6 months. See what Nintendo does with the software, wait for the library to become a little bit more robust and fleshed out, and then make a decision from there. See what they do at E3, those kind of things, and then make your purchasing decision from there. I think, like I said, I think everybody is going to want to own one eventually, because there's going to be great games that you're going to want to play on it that you're not going to want to miss. But I don't know for most people if it's a must-buy right now, this second.
That's completely fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. Now, I do have a question, because we've been hearing a lot about this. Wait, Mike in particular, what's the deal with this left Joy-Con thing?
All right. So
big stuff going on.
All right. So I hate using political buzzwords. In my opinion, right? When I have the Switch docked to my TV, I would say it's about 7 feet away from where I sit. And when I hold the Joy-Con separately, because you can hold them separately, one in each hand, or when you put it into the grip, I haven't had any issues. Now, I did try, one of the YouTube videos I watched, I don't remember the name of the site, but they were holding it like in between their legs and directly next to their left thigh as they were doing the calibration test. I tried to do that and it seemed fine. I did try holding it behind my back, and it does jitter around a lot and seems to lose the connection when you hold it behind your back. But realistically, who's going to play like that? In my opinion, I think it's a little bit overblown, to be perfectly honest. And I think that in normal usage scenarios, you really shouldn't run into any issues.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Fabe, you had any problems with this?
Nope, none at all. Not even a little bit.
I
haven't heard
said it's fake
anyone with
news,
problems.
What's that?
That's the I haven't heard any problems with it from people I know who have it.
Yeah, I've got like 6, 7 like friends, like close friends that have it, and they've had no issues whatsoever. I had one friend that ended up getting a faulty Joy-Con, and it didn't work properly, but GameStop replaced it for him free of charge under his warranty, so it was no big deal. It was just a faulty Joy-Con. I think that's what people are doing. Is in the time era where the internet is such an easy to access thing, we're seeing things that we would never have seen back if this had been a generation behind where social media wasn't as prevalent. Now, when any little issue pops up, if one person has that issues, you've got 90 sites running with that issue, and then that blows it up as a bigger thing. Because I am sure that in the run of consoles Nintendo did, there may be a faulty Joy-Con or 2 or 3 or whatever. There may be a faulty one somewhere down the line. That's just a given. But the fact that news media can run with it can sometimes blow these deals out of proportion. Like, I don't see them recalling Nintendo Switches or anything like that. So it's obviously not that big of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But here's my big issue. And I know some people might not agree, but where's my achievement system? Or my trophy system?
Yeah.
That's complete
Seriously,
crap.
Nintendo,
The other day,
this
yeah.
did not take much work. You could have called them coins or rupees. This would not have been difficult at all. You could have even had the little classical sound effect.
You could have made it have coins, and then when you complete it, you get a star.
You know, every time I get an achievement, I want it to go, here we go. Every time. Every time
Oh no! If it was going to be something, it should be ba da da ba da ba da da.
There should be negative achievements too. Like, like, wow, you haven't gotten an achievement in 10 hours.
Mamma mia!
You're gonna do the poison shroom.
Or just a picture of Mario is missing.
Oh, yeah, I remember playing that when I was a kid. That game was pretty bad.
Don't admit to that.
Oh, I did. Although I played it on Super Nintendo, I didn't play the PC version.
What did I just say?
Listen, I learned a lot about artifacts and stuff from that game in first grade or whenever I played it.
My God.
Oh boy. All right, switching gears for just a second. I want to talk about Logan, which came out this last weekend. Digital show of hands here. Who has seen Logan?
Yep.
I have.
Nope.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, I have not had the chance yet.
I have not yet.
You're
Mike, you saw
kidding
it?
me.
I have not yet, I said.
Oh, not yet? All right. So it's just you. It's just James and I. All right. All right. So I kind of want to briefly talk about the movie real quick. No spoilers, so don't worry about nothing. You ain't got nothing to worry about. So I came out of the theater. Well, I was
There's a
a
musical
social
number at the
degenerate,
end.
Well, first of all, I was a social degenerate. I went to go see this movie alone, which is the first time ever I've gone to a movie theater and watched a movie alone.
Don't feel bad about that. I do that every week. Don't make me feel bad about seeing films on my own.
I don't know. I don't know why I've always felt like that was such a weird thing, though, because I just...
Okay, but here's the
just
other
saw
reason about it. If you go see a film with people, when the film's on, you can't talk to them.
I know, like, I don't know why it's so weird for me, but I just never went to go see a movie alone. It was always a group event. Everybody went together. It was just, as soon as you were out, you were talking about the movie. It was something like that. And I don't know, but I went to go see this movie alone right after work. A lot of other single people just kind of walking in there alone. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this movie is not so weird. So, and I came out of it in, well, here's my theater's impressions. Half the theater had tears in their eyes, and about a quarter of the people were saying this movie was bullshit, this was garbage, I can't stand this movie. And then the other quarter was just like totally awestruck at the end. And I kind of came out of it thinking like, this did for the comic book movies, the comic book like movie industry, what The Dark Knight did. Where The Dark Knight took what was simple, good versus bad, no real thought process going into it kind of movies, and made it so this is a philosophical, moral issue you have to bring up every single time. You're looking into the motivations of characters. You're looking at where is the line for Batman? Where's okay? What's the Joker's motivation here? You were looking at characters on a deep level comic book movies had not gone into. And I walked out of Logan saying this did the same exact thing, but deeper.
Yeah, it's what we've been saying on this podcast. It's what I say every time we talk about comic book movies. It's you don't have to remake comic books. You just need to give a director and a writer a chance to just do what they want with these pre-existing characters. These are the modern Greek myths. That's not a new phrase. That we've been saying that for years, especially since Batman. Logan, for me, I was somewhere in the middle of the criers and the awestruck. It doesn't help that I can't really hear out of one ear, so a part of that film was sort of lost on me.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop it being really good, and it is really good. I just wonder if it's as good as everyone says it is. And I think part of the reason everyone thinks it's so good is because how bad the X-Men films, and especially the Wolverine solo films, have been.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure between those two opinions yet.
See, it connected with me on a very weird level because one of the themes in the movie...
You're a mutant. Carry on.
I wouldn't call it a theme, but one of like the plot stuff that you see in the trailer is you got Charles Xavier. And Xavier's older. He's starting to lose it. And one of the things a couple years ago when I was in college, I was dealing with was my uncle had a degenerative brain situation where it started off as he would have trouble communicating, and over the years he couldn't speak English anymore. It would just came out as gibberish. And so he would write on a tablet instead. And even then, after that, his hands wouldn't work the way he wanted them to. And so it just became this weird thing, and he would have seizures, and it was just such a rough time to go through. And I saw how hard it was on my cousins in particular, and it was just, and he passed away. And so the situation with Charles is kind of the same thing. You're watching someone kind of deteriorate. They're not the man they once were. And that's kind of the big thing of this movie. You're watching people who were on top, who were these big icons, slowly kind of go away. And it really hit me hard. I started tearing up at certain points, and I was just like, damn it.
Yeah. It was very good. As a film, as a piece of cinema, I just don't think it really did it for me. I didn't notice any time when the camera work was astonishing, the cinematography, the coloring was great, the sound design, even with half of my hearing not there, was brilliant, but the music wasn't exactly amazing. It I don't know. I'm in a really weird position with this movie. I really want to love it, but there's something there stopping me from thinking it's great, and I don't know what it is yet.
I will say what it is after the podcast, because one of the themes of this movie is disappointment, and it fits on every single level of this movie. Like when you watch a movie that makes you feel a certain type of way on purpose, then that's when you know the movie is good.
Mm-hmm.
Where the director is able to get across the exact feeling that they want you to feel, you know they've done a good job. And Logan does one of those things for me, but I won't get into any details.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Spoiler free.
Yeah, because
for someone like me.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
But like I said before, you guys looking at watching it anytime soon, or are you gonna be waiting for that almighty Pirate Bay?
Hopefully I'm going to see it sometime soon, but I wanted to pose a question, if that's all right. As spoiler-free as you can make this, you said one of the major themes is disappointment. A comparison I've heard made about Logan is that it is No Country for Old Men in X-Men form. Would you agree with that? Or?
I would say Shane more than No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
It's more old Western.
It is very much
gotcha.
Western. But
gotcha.
How about you, Mike? Nick, what are you guys looking at? You looking at watching this movie anytime soon, or are you gonna wait?
Maybe. I was gonna say it depends if I get paid next Friday, so might go and see it with the wife. Might drag the wife out to see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see it within the next couple weeks for sure. It's definitely one of the movies that's on my top list for this year. So
I hope the Last of Us comparisons go away because it's literally nothing like it.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing. Like, the only bit you could possibly say it's kind of Last of Us-y is yes, there's an older man and a younger girl, and yes, there's somewhat of a road trip. That's it.
Yeah, and they don't.
Okay, I was going to say that those comparisons need to stop with anything that's really good story based, and there's a man with a beard and a child involved.
Why can't we say it was Walking Dead inspired?
Well, yeah, there you
Or
go.
The Road.
It's more Walking Dead than The Last of Us, but it's neither.
I really hope it's not The Walking Dead because that would be horrible.
All right, moving right along. We got other topics to cover for the evening. But real quick, before we go into those, I kind of want to get a general vibe what everybody's playing right now. There's so many games come out so far. We got Nier Automata dropping, I believe, tomorrow, right? Because Nier Automata's tomorrow, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm pretty
Let
sure.
me look it up.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but what are you guys playing? So,
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
What are you guys playing?
Right now, I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. I put about 5 hours into that right now. I haven't gotten off the Great Plateau yet, but right now I'm just exploring. I beat the stone boss. I think I have one more shrine left to go. Honestly, in that game, the most difficult thing is hunting boar in that game. Because there's one area where there's boar running around, and literally as soon as those things see you, they jet off. And it's impossible to catch up with them. And even if you try to follow them, they disappear. Like any type of animal that you have to catch in that game for cooking or crafting, if they reach a certain point, they just disappear, which is kind of annoying. But overall, what's that?
No, I'll say one could say it's really boring.
God help us.
But no, I'm really enjoying that. I played about an hour of Horizon Zero Dawn, so I still got to get some more time into that. Based on what I've seen so far, it's the best looking game I've played to this point. It's absolutely stunning. And I also played on the Switch Super Bomberman R, which is kind of this. The controls are weird in that. I feel like there's input lag with Super Bomberman R. But I mean, it's Bomberman. If you ever played Bomberman, it's kind of the same thing. My surprise for the Switch of a game that's really good is Fast RMX. It's $20. It's one of the games on the eShop. Picture if Hydro Thunder, F-Zero, and Wipeout had a threesome, and that's Fast RMX. It's great.
I was going to say, this is the game that Nintendo are releasing that isn't F-Zero, but should be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So I kind of want to touch on another particular topic.
Wait. There are 3 other people in this thing, and not one of us said what we're playing.
It's kind of blanked out for a minute.
I took too much time.
Ask me what I'm playing.
Oh, what are you playing, James?
I'm not really playing anything at the moment, but that's a lie. I did another playthrough of Resident Evil 7. I'm trying to get my time and speedrun down, which I've never done. I've never tried to speedrun anything, and I'm still going back to Resi at the moment. We're nearly 2 months on. I'm under 3 hours now, which is good fun. I've done a run through on Madhouse, only dying twice. I'm very proud of that. Mostly because I have the little chainsaw that you get. Discovering secrets all the time. I love this game. I love Resi. I'm tempted to buy the season pass. I love it so much.
I was going to say, if you tried the
Resident
DLC.
Evil 7 was built to be replayed over and over and over. That game was designed for it multiple times.
Yeah, and it's great. It just every time it gets better. There's very few games, like I say, that gets better every time you play it, and Resi 7 is definitely one. And I'm always playing FIFA because FIFA is life for me. I have 2 hours to kill. I'll put a podcast on and play some FIFA. Not playing Horizon because I don't have any money. Yeah, Overwatch because I need to get into practice for the new character that'll be coming up soon. But that's it for me.
All right. What'd you play, Sam?
So I've been playing the bejesus out of Halo Wars 2. I love RTS games. I understand they're not for everyone, but I love RTS games, and Creative Assembly did a phenomenal job on this game because it's everything that made the first one work and none of the issues. And 343 actually put together a very good Halo story, which no one is more pleasantly surprised about that than I am. I think Atriox is probably the best thing to happen to Halo lore in the past several years, and I'm eager to see where they take the story from here.
Mhm.
Oh, and I've also put about 5 hours into Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't want to talk too much about it because that's a huge game. So, I mean, impressions are still early, but I'm definitely loving it so far.
Mhm. All right. What did you
And
play?
that's it for me.
I've got Life is Strange that I'm going to do this week.
Have you not played Life is Strange?
No, I just got the collector's edition for $20 at
Is
GameStop,
that the one? Is
so-
that the one that comes with the art book and the soundtrack?
Yes, sir.
I've got that. I've bought that game 3 different times because I don't know why I bought it twice, but I bought the special edition because I love it so much. That you're gonna love that game.
I've got that. I got Firewatch, and I'm also going to do Ori and the Blind Forest because I also picked that up super cheap. So,
Dude, you're like
yeah.
killing the
Nice.
indies right now.
Nice.
Oh, I've
Nah, he's
literally.
mad 'cause I passed him earlier. He was like, "Oh snap! I gotta start playing games again."
I was gonna say you're 600 behind me now, dude.
Well, I got
Good
a job. I got a job. I work all day.
There's no excuses.
Wait, Nick, you've got a PS4, right?
Not my weakness.
Getting one next Friday.
Okay, when you get a PS4, you have to get Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and the Unfinished Swan, and Journey. Those are the 3 indie games that are under £15 GBP, but I don't know what they are in US dollars, but they're all really good and cheap.
I will look into them.
Hey, guys, I hate to interrupt, but I got to split. Sorry. Thanks for having me on.
All right, see
Appreciate
you,
it.
man. Thanks for showing.
Thanks,
thanks for showing up, man.
Samuel, thank you very much. Plug your stuff.
Okay, so, I mean, like I said, I'm a senior writer and editor for
That's
Real
enough
Game
from
Media.
Samuel. That's enough. No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm also a co-host for BRAP, the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, which goes live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday evenings. It's just a bunch of guys drunkenly discussing games. We have a great time. Check it out.
That's an
And I'm out.
awesome name. I love the name, Brap. It's brilliant.
Yep.
Oh, he's gone.
All right. So, getting into the last 2 topics for the evening, I kind of wanted to do a couple things. First, I want to talk about Overwatch for a little bit. Oh my gosh, Overwatch announced it's going to be a new character. Yep. And they've announced and are going to be releasing a new character. I think it's next week or the week after. I'm not entirely sure when, but it's whenever they figure out the testing of the balancing aspect, then they'll release it to the general public. And it's Orisa, who is not Doomfist, and that's all you need to know. No, real quick,
Terry Crews, he will be in this game somehow.
real quick, I do want to say, out of all the people who suggested this story, I was the most surprised it was you, James.
Why?
I didn't peg you for that interested in Overwatch for whatever.
I listed it as my second best game of last year.
Your
Yeah.
second best, though, wasn't your first best.
Yeah, and I defended it to win at the end. Actually, no, I defended Uncharted, but yeah.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
Overwatch. It's great. I play it all the time.
No, so tell us what you think. Are you interested in this character, or describe this character for those who have no idea who we're talking
So
about?
Orisa, in the lore, the Overwatch lore, is an Omnic. So she's a robot, like Bastion and like many others. And she was created to defend the city of Numbani from Doomfist and other bad things. And Doomfist came and destroyed the airport. So if you go to the airport in Numbani right now, I think you can actually see the mark of where Doomfist hit the wall, and there's this massive crater, which is awesome. Lovely little detail like that. And this little 15-year-old girl, I can't remember her name. I want to call her Efi.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I'm awesome. She got one of these OR-15 robots, and then modified it, added some human-like features, and then named her Arisa and programmed her to keep people safe and healthy, and that's what she is. So Arisa's a tank, so she'll be joining the likes of Roadhog, Reinhardt, Diva, Zarya, that lot. She can produce barriers, so it's sort of like Winston's barriers that they're static, but they're sort of like a static version of Reinhardt's shield. And so I'm dreading the point when an Orisa, Bastion, and Symmetra are all on the same team, because it'll be utterly impenetrable to get past a barrier, Bastion in tank formation, and Symmetra's turrets.
Now imagine that and an extra Reinhardt, so they have the double shield protection and one mobile shield.
It'll be a nightmare. So I'm looking forward to Orisa because I quite like to play tank. So and seeing the footage online of the PC test gameplay, there seems to be, I've never seen so many bullets, so many shots just going around because everyone is playing this one character to see if they like her.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting time. I reckon she'll be a good character.
I'm looking forward to her. She's not kind of like I am also a tank main. I like playing tank. I'm more of a, if I had to pick my kind of character play style, I'm more like a Symmetra, Diva. I'm somewhere in those. Those are my two main characters I roll with right now. Although
I'm not a tank main. My main is Tracer, but I play tank when I need to.
Behind that, James.
Well, she's English.
That ass.
All right, you're never gonna get it, but there we go.
But yeah, I'm mostly a Roadhog player. But I mean, I'm interested in this one. I kind of want to see how she fits into it. I kind of hope she mixes things up so there's a little less Reinhardt, a little more Orisa instead. That would be nice to see. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see how she plays, and especially in the long term. I want to see how she kind of balances out against everyone else.
I want more healers.
Mm-hmm.
We need more healers. We've only got 3 healers.
I actually want another defense character, honestly. That's what I want.
I reckon Orisa will work as a defense character really well, though.
I don't know. I think we just need. I like defense as a class, even though I don't really play anybody anymore. I used to play all defense. I moved to tank because defense is not even really defense anymore. But
hey, you ever want to scare people? Go Torbjorn on offense. Throws everybody for a loop.
I'll go Bastion on offense now. Bastion got that huge update.
I haven't played Bastion since they updated him. I was like really good at, well, everybody's really good at playing Bastion, but
it's a point and click adventure.
It's a point and click adventure with Bastion. I was gonna say, I think the best game I ever had with Bastion was like 56 eliminations and 23 solo eliminations. It's easy.
See, this is why Multiverse is so interesting. We got all different types of gamers here.
Well, like when I play Overwatch, I mainly main Soldier and Zenyatta, but I do dabble in Bastion quite a bit because I don't have any actual talent in the game. I don't play the game enough to be good at it.
I mainly go in between Soldier, Tracer, and Lucio if my team needs a healer.
Yeah. Or were you the one that was telling us earlier? It was like, oh, I go Lucio because you can't screw up.
I said that?
We were at a party with somebody the other day, and they said, oh, I play Lucio because you can't screw up.
That sounds like a stupid thing to say.
Yes.
Because I know I screwed up playing times with Lucio.
Yes,
have you seen the footage of that guy that plays Lucio on Eichenwald and like bounces under the bridge, kills the guy, bounces back under, and
I have not seen that, but I now want to.
Is that King of Swing?
I want to say so. I'll find the clip for you guys for after the show.
Cool.
All right. So, all right, one last thing we do need to talk about today. I wanted to do this during the Logan segment, but we kind of had timing issues we had to get through. I wanted to talk about Logan in regards to how do we rank Logan amongst our favorite X-Men movies.
Well, only 2 of us can do this.
Well, I mean, first of all, out of the 4 of us, what are your top 3 X-Men movies?
Does
out of the whole X-Men universe? What are your top 3 movies?
So we're
Deadpool
counting
does
Disney.
not count.
And you can't do twice.
Wait. Does Deadpool count?
Yes, Deadpool would count as an X-Men movie.
Okay.
I would go number 1. I would say X2. Number 2, Deadpool, and number 3, the original. I would say.
Mm.
See, I hadn't been considering Deadpool, which is now throwing everything into it because I Sorry?
X-Men appear in it. It's an X-Men movie.
Yeah, well, X-Men appear in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yes, technically, but they were Avengers.
I mean, excuse me, I'm dying. I don't know. You know what? I would probably still go in this order 3-1. Logan, X-Men, X2.
All right, so you had X2 is your number 1, X-Men 1 is your number 2.
Yeah, the original X-Men.
Was Logan's number 3?
Then Logan, and then Deadpool straight after that.
Mm.
Great minds think alike, James. We both had X2 as our number 1.
It's really good.
It is.
Oh, you Nick.
It's great.
On this.
I've only seen the original X-Men and Deadpool. I have all these. So
Seriously?
I guess you got your top 2.
Yep. Yeah, no, the X-Men never really rang out with me. And also I want to throw out here too, because whenever we talk about film, I'm kind of the ignorant one in the group. I do not watch a lot of movies.
Neither do I really, though.
Very, very few movies. My wife. If you guys ever want to talk movies, I'll get my wife on the podcast because my wife like nonstop watches every movie that comes out.
Bring her on.
Yeah, we should have done an Oscar special. We should have brought her on.
But I was gonna say, but yeah, Nick, the only X-Men movies I've seen, I saw the original 3. I saw the Wolverine and Deadpool, and that's it.
That's about right.
I mean,
Nah,
I will never understand why there's such a hatred against X-Men: The Last Stand. I just don't understand why people don't like that movie so much. I really don't.
The Dark Phoenix saga a lot.
Well, you would, as a non-comic book reader.
I'm not even that big of an X-Men guy, but I know they screwed up Dark Phoenix. Like, here's how confused I was when I was a kid when I watched it. I thought she turned into Scarlet Witch.
See, I
thought that.
I didn't even know who Scarlet Witch was until Avengers did it.
Yeah, so I really thought that they made Jean Grey Scarlet Witch. I was so confused by what they were trying to do. But that's me personally. So for me, my rankings, I've seen all of them. I've seen all the X-Men movies. My number 3 would be Deadpool. Deadpool doesn't it's funny and it's a great movie. It's not my kind of humor though. I always view Deadpool more as a support character, not like pushing his own movie. Like he was great to have for witty banter, but you needed a straight man to run him off of first, and it didn't work for me personally. After that, I'd say Logan. Logan's my number 2. It's just great. I've already expressed what I like about the movie to a pretty decent extent. And my number 1 is actually X-Men First Class.
I can't have a go at you. It's really good.
I like the period piece when they started doing that again. I like doing the origin for Xavier and for Magneto, and it was just I really loved it.
Kevin Bacon's really good in it.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon of all people. And it was just a good movie, and it set the pace of I don't think anyone was expecting it to be good. That's a surprise. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And it played up a lot of really kind of quieted down characters who don't really get a lot of attention. You had Havoc, you got Beast. Beast got more time. You got Angel, Darwin, Banshee. just great, good characters who never really got that much of attention. I was really digging that about that movie. And they didn't rely on Wolverine, which was nice. Like they didn't rely on the mainstays. It was really good. And watching the what was it? I cannot remember their names right now. It's always when I put them on the stop. Was it?
What are you saying? The Days of Future Past?
No, actors. Who
did they play? James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. I don't know why I can never remember his name.
Scottish.
But watching James McAvoy, which him and Filth was pretty awesome too. But I'm not gonna get into that later.
You seen Filth?
Yeah, I saw Filth. I saw
Good
that years ago. But watching James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender just kind of go do their back and forth and have their kind of like bromance kind of thing was just fun to watch. I just loved watching that.
Yeah, they're adorable.
It was great. But that's my personal rankings. I would put Logan as my number 2. As a whole, out of the whole X-Men continuity.
I think the guy who directed First Class also directed Kick-Ass and The Kingsman.
I think that's right.
So I think you can definitely see how it all works between them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Deadpool 2.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Deadpool 2. For those of you who care, who've seen Deadpool, at the beginning...
Which was a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Like, there is a teaser for Deadpool 2, and it is hilarious.
Now, I gotta say, when I went to see the film, there was no teaser.
There was no teaser for you? There was a teaser right at the beginning of mine. And I thought the movie had started. I thought it was a part of the movie.
No, there was nothing for me. Maybe it's because I saw it like a week early.
Yeah, that's your fault there. How dare you?
How dare Fox release it early in the UK because we're better.
You know better. You're supposed to wait like the rest of us.
Are you done?
I guess so, yeah.
Cool.
All right, anything else you guys want to talk about tonight before we head out?
Oh, I got something.
Oh, what's up?
Okay. You guys heard about the T. Martin and Syndicate thing that happened last year, right?
The gambling site.
CS:GO Lotto.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Did you hear about the one that happened with FIFA?
What? No,
No.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, so are you guys aware of FIFA Ultimate Team?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. You don't need to know the ins and outs, just know that it exists and you know how it functions. Okay, anyway.
No.
So there were these two YouTubers. One, I can't remember the second one, but the first one was called Nepenthes. And he's quite big. I want to say he's got like 5 million subscribers. Or 3 million. It's a serious number. He's a big deal. And he, much like T. Martin Syndicate, was telling his fan base to go to this website. He didn't own it. It wasn't that serious. Oh wait, no. I think he did actually own part of it. Yes, he did. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It's 1:55 and I can't hear anything. And he was charged and tried and then he was charged with, I can't remember the exact ins and outs, but he was fined pretty heavily for, eliciting gambling from underage people, because the majority of his fans are under 15. And, you can be an idiot, and I don't care about that. It's the fact that YouTube has done nothing in the wake of this. His channel has not been suspended. It hasn't been blacklisted or anything. He's grown at views and subscribers during the time, and people are tweeting him saying, "Oh, Nep, you've been so strong through this whole deal. I'm going to stand by you." And I just think that we are applauding this guy who has been telling children to gamble real money on a football game. And I think it's not cool. I'll say my piece.
It was the same thing with T. Martin and Syndicate. They literally got slaps on the wrist, and they actually gained like 300,000 subscribers each out of the whole thing because people were more interested in their content and their apologies and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I was going to say T. Martin sure isn't hurting from it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's happened out of this, and it's terrible, frankly. But I mention it because Nepenthes was I think he's the first to actually be charged with being charged guilty with this. I don't think Syndicate and T Martin have been charged yet.
They're not getting charged. They managed to weasel their way out of that, apparently.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Oh.
I think there's a lot of misleading content on that, like that on YouTube, and they don't really do anything about most of it. I remember this was about a month ago. Drifter. I don't know if you guys know Drifter. He's big in the Call of Duty scene. He does the
I've met
videos.
Drifter before. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, well, he made a video about a month ago, and he pointed out some of these channels where these guys have like 1 million subs. They're getting like 2 million views a video, and the title of the video could be something like "How to Catch Rare Pokemon in Pokemon Go," and then it's somebody shooting a basketball. You know what I mean? And then YouTube doesn't do anything about it, and it's like these YouTubers are intentionally misleading their viewers, and nothing happens. Kind of like what happened in the T Martin thing. So,
they weren't
do so much.
The T Martin thing. They weren't misleading their viewers. They were just being dicks.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Team Martin and Syndicate thing, they literally were promoting a site that they made money off of and saying that you could win because they were getting amazing skins and everything off this site. And they did like 5-6 videos each on how amazing the site was and everyone should use it. And it came out that they were owners, and then Syndicate went offline for a while. T Martin was going, it wasn't me. And it just eventually disappeared, and it's disgusting. But at the same time, is if you watch the YouTube industry as a whole, anyone will do anything for views because views are how you make your money. So clickbait titles and everything else, and like the amount of times I've clicked on a video and it has, as you said, nothing to do with the actual subject matter or anything else. It's bizarre.
All right, guys.
I will say the best thing to come out of all this gambling stuff is I don't really want to promote another site. However, I'm going to right now. Video Gamer, the outlet in the UK, they did a 3-video parody of a fake YouTuber scamming his audience and saying them like the first video is the scam, the second video is the apology video, and he's holding like a big cuddly teddy bear. And the third one is him coming back saying he's done nothing wrong. It's brilliant.
All I can ever think of is that guy from South Park. We're sorry. Sorry.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. It's been a really good show. I really love doing this every week. It's just so much fun. I love talking to you guys. But all right. Well, for people who already left,
you're pretty good too.
Oh, just kind of good. I'm not really that good. But Fame had to dip out early. All right, Fame had to dip out early, having issues. And we had Sam on earlier from Real Game Media. But real quick, we'll go through our panel real quick. Nick.
How's it going, guys? You can find me on Twitter and Xbox, Undead3XVI. You can also add me on PSN because I locked down my PSN ID today via the good old PlayStation website. So, same as my Xbox gamer tag, Undead3XVI. Yeah, that's it.
What does the 3XVI mean?
Oh, that's I used to the 3XVI was my clan name when me and my friend used to do Halo and COD UMGs back in Xbox 360.
Okay, you're just a nerd. Fine.
Yeah. I made money playing video games for a while. It was a thing. But not anymore. Yeah, I used to play 2v2 tournaments all the time and did a fair amount of wager matches and whatnot. I made a couple $1,000 during the summer one year. It was not really that big of a deal.
You're stressing over money? Get back to work.
Yeah, it don't work like that when you got a job and kids. It's just not really an option anymore. And I get beaten by like springy little 13-year-olds cranking Monster Energy drinks now. So
I used to drink too.
I don't feel like dying today.
All right, and our Soundmaster General until April, James.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. At James_S Wilson to come at me on Twitter about everything in the world. If you're a big Nepenthes fan, come at me and tell me why he's great, and I'll give you 20 reasons why he isn't. Like at numbers 1 through 19, he stole money from children. Come at me on PSN at WilsonTron96. Because yeah.
And we got Mike.
All right, guys, it's Mike again from the Inner Circle, TICGN.com. Check me out on Xbox and PS4 at Mike P. The Truth, Twitter also. You can also add me on the Switch if you want at 6175-7896.
Oh, come on, mate. That doesn't work.
Data rates may apply.
Dude, that doesn't work. It's said out loud. It's a written down way.
Which is why I said carrier and data rates may apply. It looks like an international phone number.
Oh, very good.
My God, you would think in 2017 Nintendo would ditch the friend codes and realize it's the most ineffective way of it. It's like redeeming a $25 gift card on your console. You're sitting there.
It's redeeming a friend. That's what you're doing. You're redeeming a friend.
I mean, there's a 90-day return policy.
And also, if you want to hear more great podcasts like this, go to ticgn.com.
And check out the YouTube channel. And check out our Podbean and all the rest of that good stuff.
And you should go to this great website that we founded called Multiverse Show, where you can like get a lottery and see what hosts will happen.
You'll never know who will show up on the Multiverse next.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up.
Just give us your money. That's what we're saying. Just give it.
All right, guys. This has been the Multiverse Show. Thank you guys for showing up. This is Anchorman. You can follow me on Anchorman V2 on Twitter, and same thing everywhere else: Twitch, Beam, YouTube, whatever, Xbox. And I'm just glad to have this show. It's been fun, therapeutic. I really appreciate you guys for showing up again. Also, you can check us out on everything else. Also, check out Multiverse Show on Twitter. We'll be putting out the regular stuff for you guys to enjoy. Anyway, guys, thank you guys. We will see you later. We're out of here.
Peace.